Hi, I'm Kyle,
I'm John.
and today on our digital talk, we're going to talk about the mystical green lock.
The green lock?
Yes, the green lock that we see, but we don't really know a lot about. So we're
Okay.
going to hopefully educate everybody today. So to get slightly more technical, what exactly is the green lock?
Well, the green lock is in your web browser. At the top left of your URL is a green lock. And that typically means security because it's green. People trust green money. E-commerce sites typically have a green lock.
Right. And I notice it's everywhere too. When I go on Facebook, I see a green lock. When I go to Amazon or Netflix, I see a green lock there. So I think it's pretty safe to say that this is kind of a standard thing that bigger businesses are trying to adopt right now, right?
Well, it's not just big business. Everybody is. As of the end of 2016, over half the websites on the internet utilize the green lock.
So 50% of the internets have it.
More than 50%.
Okay. Somebody said a really interesting thing to me that a secure connection is sort of like a cable between, let's say, like you and me. And it means that if they say, oh, it's secure, that means from that one end of the cable, the message being sent from one end to the other, it's secure. But that doesn't mean necessarily 100% that it's completely safe, right?
That is true. I mean, it's encrypted. The green lock gives you encryption so that nobody else can intercept or read that information from your computer to their computer or the web server.
Right.
But between the web server and the database servers and everything else could be unencrypted. But with the green lock, you have to take the trust that most people are going to do the right thing with their website and everything else and keep everything else encrypted as well.
Right. And obviously, security is a really big issue nowadays, especially moving into 2017. Security is a major issue. But I know there's more benefits to it alongside security. And I know SEO has benefits that come from it as well.
SEO has a ton of benefits from it. Google in 2016 actually started giving you credit or a higher ranking for having a security certificate. And the more by having that, if let's say your competitor doesn't have the green lock and you do, and all other things are equal, you're going to move up above your competition.
Right. And I think, just to kind of piggyback off that, it's just Google trying to emphasize the importance of security and trying to emphasize the importance of having your information that's being sent back and forth just being safe and secure, which kind of leads me to another thing. I spoke a little bit earlier that Amazon's safe. I saw the green lock. I felt good about shopping there. But there have been a few websites that I've seen that they don't necessarily have the green lock and you can buy things from there. Now, my instinct would be to run, obviously, that it's not really safe. Where's the lock? But am I overreacting or is that about it?
The answer is yes and no. I mean, if it's a small e-commerce site, the odds of them getting hacked is slimmer. But when somebody gets hacked, it's not usually initially a human that's attacking them.
Oh,
it's
that's
an automated
interesting.
robot. So to the automated robots, it doesn't matter if a site has the green lock or not. They're trying to break in and everything. And that's why web browser companies like Google and Microsoft, even Firefox, they're starting to label sites as unsecure.
Right.
So if you don't have the green lock, you're actually going to be labeled unsecure. And talk about trust factors. If you're labeled as not secure, what are people going to think about your overall brand on the internet?
Exactly. I've seen some websites that are built smaller businesses and organizations and larger ones. Not naming any names, but I would go to them and they would say, "Oh, it's unsecure, it's unsafe." And to me, that's pretty shocking for a business any size to kind of have that. And to kind of go off what you said earlier, I think it's interesting. I think people have that misconception still that hacking is just one guy in a dark room sitting in front of a computer, trying to attack different things. But like you said, it's really just a program right now, and it really has no bias on who it attacks and what it attacks. Am I correct?
Absolutely. The programs will initially go out, and while these guys are sleeping, the hackers, they will actually give a list to them so when they wake up, they know, oh, we've compromised this site, and this site.
Right.
Now, that's where the human factor comes into the overall security type question.
So what would your message be to businesses who maybe want to become secure. They don't have a green lock right now, but they want to be secure, not only for their reputation, but they also just want to have that security and peace of mind for themselves and for their customers who visit. What are their options?
Well, option one, get a security certificate.
Mhm.
An SSL certificate, or it's now, which is SSL up to version 3. Above version 3, it's called a TLS certificate. They're pretty much one and the same. Get one. The price ranges from free, from, say, Let's Encrypt, up to even thousands of dollars from Symantec, depending on the level of encryption that your business needs.
Right.
I know for like us, the one we use is DigiCert, which is a couple $100, but there's no website that we don't host or anything that doesn't utilize the green lock.
Right. And I think that's interesting too. And I think, again, another misconception people have, it's they either think, oh, it's beyond expensive, or it's for a large business, I can't afford it, it's not for me. But when the reality is there are a variety of options for you, and it just differs and varies by size and business. So there's really nowadays no reason not to be secure. And I mean, that's pretty much what I'm taking away from it.
Absolutely. Even if you don't have, say, an e-commerce site and you have, say, a brochure site or lead generation site, the green lock adds one, trust.
Right.
Two, you're not going to be labeled by Google Chrome or other browsers as being insecure.
Right.
And who's to say that somebody filling out a contact form on your website might not include credit card information or something confidential?
Right. You definitely want that safe. And I mean, because there could be cases where the connection may be secure and the credit card information that they're filling out on the site is secure, but once they send it, it may get forwarded to an email address. It may get forwarded to somewhere else, and that may not necessarily be secure. So it sounds like there's a lot of factors that you have to keep in mind.
Absolutely. And you just have to trust that the web designer and the business is doing their best efforts to keep it encrypted. And step one, encrypt from the user to your web server.
So to me, it sounds like questions that you would want to ask if you are developing a website or if you're having somebody make a website for you. These sound like legitimate questions to ask
They're
them.
absolutely legitimate questions.
Okay. And that's really interesting to keep in mind because, again, security is a big factor, but security also falls into trust. And trust is a big factor with not only yourself, but the people building your website, because you want that trust to come out and you want people to feel that, you know, they're a safe place as well. And I think that's about all we had today for the green lock.
That's pretty much it.
Isn't it amazing? Tiny green lock has so much information about it.
It has a lot of information.
It has a ton, and I think we've just really scratched it. We could talk all day about the green lock, but that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching, and I'm Kyle.
I'm John.
And see you next time.